Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through how to make a pumpkin shape effectively and a Blake spheroid like this with ribbing in it. So it was one of those things where it was so much simpler than I realised it was, and I went through so many different attempts to do this, and then the final attempt, it was like that was so easy. I just couldn't believe I didn't see it to begin with. So basically, what I'm going to do is the key thing here is that you can see how this tapers inwards to the point over here. That's really what's going on here, and this is what makes this a good little shape to learn how to make. So Control G, I'm just going to move those out of the way. Now I'll just delete the sphere that I've got, just so I can show you the setup. So I'm going to add a mesh, I'm going to add a cylinder. I wouldn't put too many rings on this one for this um, your first test run basically, because it'll make a lot of extra work when you're practicing. I would kind of advise that either have nothing, so make it empty, or none gone. I'm going to actually make mine empty because I don't really need anything in the middle of this. Right, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to press tab and get into edit mode. I want to select faces now. I'm just going to select with shift, and I'm just going to click every other face. And then I'm going to head over here. I'm going to make sure that I'm extruding along normals. I'm going to pull it out to, I'm going to go 0.15. And then I'm going to head over here and I'm going to bevel it. Wrong one. First, before I bevel it, I'm going to go into select mode, lines, because I don't want the top lines. I just want these. And that's because I don't want this to bevel, these top and bottom edges to bevel here. I just want to do this. Okay. Now I'm going to pull that. It does actually overlap, but then I'm going to clamp the overlaps just to stop it basically going weird on me. I'm going to increase the number of curves now, basically the number of segments, to create a smoother curve. And that should give me this. Okay, now I've got my the general shape that I'm going for. Now I need to actually pull it together and make that curve inwards. In order to do that, I'm going to press 7 so I can view from the top. I'm going to actually select vertices for now. I'm going to make sure that I've not got anything selected. Going to head over here, do some loop cuts. Just going to put quite a lot of loop cuts in here because I need this to be very flexible. The more loops I put in, the more flexible this structure is. Okay, press 7 again. I'm going to hold down shift, select only the top. So you can see it shouldn't have anything else. Control 7 to view the bottom of it. Press shift again. Select the vertices. Again, just going to double check that I haven't selected anything other, and now I've got the top and the bottom. Now up here I need to make sure that this proportional editing is turned on. It'll go blue. You can also press O to flip between it, but make sure that it's turned on. Now hopefully when I scale you can see it's kind of collapsing in on itself. Now the good thing is our little tool shows up here so we can play around with it a bit if we need. Like so. So what I've done there is I've set X and Y into 0, and then I can basically decide where Z's going to end up like this. Okay, so I can either make it stretched out or I can compress it downwards. It's whatever I want to do, really. Now, what I can do then is I can even play around with these. I can kind of tighten it up, sharpen it, basically go for whichever one I want to create. I think in this case, Linear seems to have created the best layout for me on this one. I'm gonna select off, press tab, just gonna widen this a bit, and you can see you can kind of create, you know, longer or more tighter. I think as well, what you've got to remember is when you initially extrude these out and bevel them, I think I obviously got it a little bit too I didn't extrude it right so that when I beveled it, it wasn't a smooth curve. But other than that, and that's why it's kind of flat here. Whereas if I head over to this one on the far side, well, I did a far better job at beveling that because it's a nice smooth curve. And you can see on this one, in fact, if I head into this one and show you it again by pressing tab, if you've got a smoother curve on your bevel, again, I'll just go into 7 there, shift and select all the top. Oh, hang on, is this subdivided? No, it's not subdivided. I'm better subdivide it so you can see what's going on. There we go. Again, it won't bend if you don't subdivide it. It's that simple. So pop off, 7, shift, select the top, control 7, shift, select the bottom, scale on the proportional editing. And you can see that that one is a lot smoother because it's got a tighter bevel and the extrude was in a better place, basically. 2 for that, like so. I think I'll, yeah, can go for smooth or fair, whichever one basically I feel works best. Again, tab, widen it, and you can see it's just all about playing around until you get exactly what you're going for. This first one that I did over here definitely worked a lot cleaner. I think I did a far better job on it than the other two, but overall you can see that what we're creating is these fanned shapes, these ribbed spheres, which of course, you know, you can turn into lots of different things then. So it could potentially work very well as like a decorative bowl if you cut the top parts off, start of a spinning top, pumpkins. In my case, I'm actually going to create something that looks like a power generator out of it. Hopefully I'm going to do a video on how I'm going to create an entire power generator out of one of the, or a set of these anyway. Make it look like it's sci-fi style. So there we go. That is how we create a ribbed sphere effectively within Blender, as simply as I could possibly make it. So thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.